listening to Opie and Anthony. On the virus, Sirius-XM.
When did you really feel you hit in the business?
The first big thing was that From Here to Eternity miniseries. I was 25.
Wow.
So at 25, I started making a living as an actor. I've made a living now for 35 years. I got more than I expected. That's the problem. I got more than I deserved, I thought.
Huh.
Wow.
And I'm saying, what is the matter with me? You got everything, Joey. Grow a pair of balls and act like a man. I didn't know it. I thought it was my problem. I thought it was my issue. And when that doctor said, it's not your fault, and he explained the chemistry and how now I understand what my mother had, what her father had, and what my 3 kids, all 3 of my kids have it.
Really?
My daughter just went off to college for the first time. She was there for no more than 7 hours, had a complete and utter meltdown. Anxiety disorder. They took her out of school. She's seeing our family psychiatrist. Now, just 3 days ago, she came back from a job in Rome. She went to Rome to babysit for Marcia Gay Harden's kids. She wouldn't have been able to do that. She didn't drink. She didn't turn to drinks or drugs in the dorm room like so many kids do. She said, Daddy, Mommy, I need help, because she knows that I live with this mental disease. She knew that her brother lived with it. So she said, oh, boy, it's starting in me now. We thought she, it passed her. We thought she was one of the lucky ones.
Jeez, that's a Godzilla gene you got going there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, especially in this community. I mean, my new book is called Asylum for a reason. I thought Hollywood was the asylum that was going to embrace me and save me. But no, once you find out, once you get what you want, you feel so self-loathing, you start giving it back. I don't want it anymore. Look at them. Look at all of these stars you talk about every day, and everybody says, why would they do that? So self-destructive. No, it's a mental dis-ease, and all you're doing is, left to your own devices, you're screwing up.
Well, I don't know how many people actually knew this about you.
Yeah, I didn't,
it really is something.
I didn't realize.
I mean, it didn't end up in any tabloids, or you don't see it in the papers or anything when you're starring in a movie or a TV show. It doesn't come out. Why?
Well, people
why do you
hide
think
it for many years, and Joey was a great actor. And even we know each other since we're teenagers, and hid it from his friends and family for many, many years.
Were there any times you were doing a scene where you were just like, oh my God, I'm losing it right now? And
no,
you had to do the scene? Because
you're able to evoke the emotions. That's why I'm attracted to the characters I played, because the sublimation and the similarities, the emotional similarities that I could call on, they were there, they were palpable, they were real. So I really was being in those parts. I was being Joey. And, when you're reading a book, and being able to create that was, I had to master up all of the acting gods in the world to be able to do this new medium.
How would you channel depression into a character like you played on The Sopranos? Because that was a brutal guy. Like, that wasn't a guy that was kind of depressed. It didn't seem. He was just a vicious man.
Well, yeah, okay. When you look at Ralph, he only hurt people, but he would always get them to hurt him first. He would drive them to the point where they spit in his eye, they smacked him, they came after him with a bat, giving him permission. The clues were he's weird in bed, he needs to go through pain. He's doing amyl nitrate, and she's got a dildo up his ass. Yes. Can only have sex with pain, right? So there is the reason. People aren't born like that. This guy was being molested as a boy. Actually, in that last episode, he talks to the priest and he says, "My parents were scumbags, Father." You become these things because of the secrets inside of you.
We were talking about that one scene where you just beat the shit out of the hooker.
That's so
And then
famous.
you just come walking in, you shove your elbow in the ice bucket and go, and then they start getting on your ass, and you go, first of all, she was a hooah. It's so ruthless.
No, he said, she slipped.
Yeah, she slipped. But you just don't even give a shit. You're more concerned that your elbow was hurt. That's not, your hand was hurt.
But remember, she said, I say,
yeah. Now
honey, what are you getting mad at? If it's a boy, we'll name him after me. If it's a girl, we'll name her after you, so she can grow up to be a cocksucking slut, just like a mother. And then the chick spits in his eye. She starts smacking him, and then he actually, if you look at the scene, she catches him, and he goes like, "You hurt me, you fuck." And that's when he went nuts.
That's when he loses it. Yeah. Wow.
What's the first thing you do?
Never
when you-
realized that with that character.
an actor like yourself, when you look at a script, like what's the first thing you do to get into it? Like, okay, there's the lines. Like, do you start memorizing, or do you think, who is this person?
I can't memorize.
Oh, you can't.
No, what I do now is I use a earwick in my ear where I have an assistant that's saying the words in my brain. So I get all of the messages, kind of like what you guys use. So they're saying, he went that way, and I said, he went that way. You know, so
No way.
yeah.
That is.
But you know what
something.
happens
other
on the
actors must
TV
be-
series? The TV series, they say, give the lines, give the exposition to Joey. He can do it. Because all the other actors going, what's my line? Line. And I'm going, yeah, the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane.
Wait, he does that to you while you're shooting? Or no, but to help memorize? Like, because Brando would actually have an assistant.
Yeah, just like Brando. That's where I got it
Wow.
from.
Oh, when he was doing
Just-
Dr. Moreau, you have an earpiece in there.
I've been here. Then my little pinky here, it goes in there. The reader is literally maybe 40 yards away. It's a woman because I need a high pitch to be able to hear her. And as she's saying these words, I'm acting, and when actors are talking to me, I'm hearing my words coming, or she'll say, your clue is, your next line is, or, scratch your chin, like for matching.
Wow.
When they go into coverage. It really works. A lot of guys are doing it now, but it's not for me to say.
But how do you like? What if it's a bunch of lines? Like, what if it's like 5 or 6 lines in a row where you have to go like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da? How does she feed them to you and you keep the pace going?
Because I can do 2 things at once. I'm dyslexic. People who aren't dyslexic can remember their lines and would drive them crazy.
You ever repeat somebody talking that is like the second after they say it, you're able to repeat what they say? I assume that's what you can do. Yeah.
Yeah, I got words. Well, like right now, my brain is telling me what to say. I can hear these words and they're coming out of my mouth, right? Mm-hmm. And there's also a sense of spontaneity this way. Because I look at the script and I break it down and I know what my intentions are. But that's one element I don't have to worry about, that I don't have to give any energy to.
Jesus.
So I can be more free in reading my lines and saying because it's not about the lines, it's about what you want. It's about the intentions.
Is she giving you any emotion in the voice, or
No.
it's just like a flat
robot
read,
Yeah.
and so you know how to emote just from the situation you're in, or
Yeah, because I'm listening to what's happening.
Right.
And I'm responding.
God, that's something.
That's a real artist. It's amazing to me because I'm a very moderately mediocre actor. I have very small parts.
You're
That's
the
not my
great
love.
Jim Norton.
It's not my love though. It's like, but it's very hard to do, man. It's really fucking hard to do. Like, what do you do if the other person isn't? I asked another actor this recently. If they're not giving you back, actually, you asked them. What do you do if they're not giving you anything back to react off of that's natural?
The truth is that I've worked with so many great actors.
Right.
I can't tell you. I don't remember working with a bad actor.
Did anybody intimidate you just by who they were?
Yeah.
Who made you
The
nervous?
little Asian kid from Goonies.
The little Asian kid from Goonies.
Little Goonies action. Yes, let's not forget.
At first, it was Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I fell in love with him. And again, very, very supportive, great actor. You know who was really great? I did a show with Brian Keith. And I couldn't, and I was trying to memorize my lines, and he knew I was having trouble, and he was a pro, right? So he walked up to me and he said, "Hey, kid, will you help me with my lines?" Because he knew that I needed it. But he didn't say, "You want me to help you?" He said, "Come on, can you give me a hand? I need your help."
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Very cool
definitely.
of him. Yeah.
Holy shit.
He committed suicide. What is
Jeez.
going on? See, but you think about it. Look at, what do I have in common with Frank Sinatra, Judy Garland, Marilyn Monroe, James Dean, Montgomery Clift, all of these people? More so, I think we are the norm. I think that
Sinatra was depressed?
Sinatra was an alcoholic for 50 years, and yeah, he was. You don't drink for fun. You don't drink alcohol because you like it. You drink it because it works.
I like taking an occasional drink.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't do anything occasionally.
No.
Yeah.
For me,
I
sex
just drink
became a big one.
socially.
How about sex?
Sex was my biggest.
Yeah, it's a rough
Sex
one.
was my biggest.
The internet? Oh.
I almost lost everything. Well, the
Really?
internet,
Wow.
the internet provides everything. Think about it. You can
Yeah.
gamble, you can get women, you can get drugs, you can get anything on the internet.
It's God.
It's the closest thing to God,
It really, when you do a Google search for meaty pussy and a bunch of ads come up, you're like, how do you not like the internet?
How many phone calls will you make today? You know, how many people will you actually talk to on the phone? I get texts.
Yeah.
You think, oh, yeah, well, we're in touch now. That's why I tell the people that work for me, get on the phone. Let them know our needs. You can buy rat shit anywhere. You know, we're selling rat shit. You know, why do you buy my rat shit? Because you like me, because we have a relationship, because you know I'll deliver my rat shit on time for a fair price.
Right.
Right? So buy Peppy and Pants.
Pepe!
Let's do it.
What's the name of the sauce?
Peppy and Pants.
Okay.
Two guys from Hoboken. It's crazy good.
And where is it available?
It's at the Food
In
Emporium.
Manhattan, all food emporiums.
Food
In New
emporiums?
Jersey,
Nice.
AMPs, King's Markets, a lot of local stores.
Oh, shit, you know some people.
We know some people.
You know some people at the docks.
Nice eye level.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of support from the grocery
at
stores.
the grocery
because it is
store. Yeah.
They're not putting you way up top on the shelf.
Oh,
we
yeah,
have to
the
reach
bottom
for it,
with
right?
Because
with
how
the
many-
Goya beans.
Right, exactly.
Everybody has somebody that love who is dealing with a mental disease. And what we provide is comfort now. We can't give you the fucking cure, but we can give you the comfort. We can say, change your behavior, run. Just run. You
Now,
feel funny? Go run. Go take a
in
walk.
the future, we may ask you to return this favor.
Yes.
But not right now. That's fantastic, man. Very cool. So glad you could come in and enlighten us.
Thank you.
Definitely an enlightening
And don't forget,
conversation.
if these kids, anybody wants to buy tickets for tomorrow, it's at the Boys and Girl Clubs on First and Jefferson, and tickets are $25, I think.
And the website is also, sorry, what's the website? Is, hey, the website again?
NoKiddingMe2.org.
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 It doesn't matter how you spell two, you'll get there, right?
Right.
Yeah, get
What was
there.
your favorite role? I know we're wrapping up, but I just need to know because I've always liked your work, man.
Thank
you were
you.
in Memento. You were Guido the Killer
I like
fucking pimp.
Bound. I like Bound a lot. That was a good movie.
Hell yeah,
It's
it
a
was a
great
good
part for
movie.
me. I mean, to be able to act, to play that, all of those emotional ranges and the suspicion and the confusion. That
Bound
was a great part.
movie, man.
You know, I ask every actor when they come in because my problem is always with my hands. I never know what to do with my hands when I act. I'm too self-conscious.
I keep scratching my balls.
Seems to work.
That's how this should end, man. Joey, come back and see us with your next project, whatever
will.
that is, okay?
Yes.
Thanks for having
guys.
us.
And
Thank
Pepe,
you.
thank you, man.
Thanks for having us.
The Virus. Sirius-XM. This